What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can make an API call on make.com. Let's get started. To make an API call, you'll need an API key. I'm going to use this website called newsapi.org to get an API key. You'll be able to get a free API key on this website. All you have to do is add your email and then click on Get API Key, and you'll get your own API key over here. Now, with our API key, we can begin setting up our automation. On make.com, I'm going to use Monday to get data. Now, this is how my CRM looks. Now, all you have to do is create a connection between Monday and make.com. I've showed you on previous videos how you can create a connection on Monday.com. After creating a connection on Monday.com, I'll get the ID of one of our clients. So let's say Kim Rogers, and then click on open. On the URL, you will see an ID for this client. Copy it, and then paste it right here. And then click on OK. So now when we run this module, you'll get all the data of our prospect, whose name is Kim Rogers. You'll get the status, which is intake. You'll also get the email and his phone number. On this automation, we can get a news article using News API and use the API key to call a particular article or filter particular articles according to maybe location, date, and send those news articles to a prospect. Get the news articles, we'll need to make an API call. Now, to make an API call so we can get our news articles, we will search for HTTP. Click on HTTP, and then what you're going to do is make a request. And then here we're going to add our URL. Now, let me show you how you can add your URL over here. On newsapi.org, I'm going to click on Get Started, open it on a new tab. On the new tab, you will see these canvas right here. And these are an example of how you can define your URL. First of all, we're going to use get as our method. For URL, this is example URL that we're going to use. So we are going to copy it until where it says v2, copy it, and then add it right here on our URL. Now, what follows next is defining what you want to get. For example, over here, if you want to get all articles mentioning Apple from yesterday, sorted by popular publishers first, here's how you will define your URL. So since you want all articles, you're going to write everything about Apple. So for the queue, you're going to add Apple, since you want everything about Apple from when the articles were published. So here you're going to add from, and then add your date. You also want them sorted by popular publishers first. So here you're going to sort by popularity, and then you add your API key right here. Now, if you wanted all articles mentioning Elon Musk from yesterday, or from last week, or from last month, here's how we're going to write our URL. We're going to add everything. We're going to add Elon Musk. We're going to add Elon Musk. So here we can define our date as and from 2024 on May 31st. You can also sort by popularity using the sort by here, and copy this sort by popularity. And here we're going to add our API key. For the method, we're going to use get. You don't have to define the body type since you're only getting the articles, and then click on OK. So now when we run this module alone, we're going to get all the articles that have mentioned Elon Musk. So we can see our status code is 200. That means it ran successfully. So when we click on data, you see you'll get this long string of data of all the articles that mention Elon Musk or Tesla. So you can see all the articles are very long string. You'll also get a few examples right here from newsapi.org. For example, if you want all articles about Tesla from last month sorted by recent first, you're going to copy these until here, and then define everything about Tesla, and then define the date from this to this, and then sort by published art, and then add your API key. You're going to follow these instructions that this website has provided right here. And you're going to get all the different articles that mention a certain topic. For example, if you want top business headlines in the US right now, copy the URL until here, then begin by defining what you want to get on your URL. So we want top business headlines. So here you can add top headlines. The country is US, so you can define the country as US, category of business, and then you can add your API key and run it, and you'll get all the different business headlines in the US right now. Same with the top headlines from TechCrunch. Just copy your URL until this point and then begin defining what you want. We want top headlines and the source to be TechCrunch, and then add your API key and run your automation. You'll get all the top headlines from TechCrunch right now. Similar to this example right here, where it sources all articles published by the Wall Street Journal in the last 6 months, sorted by recent first. So we're going to copy our URL right here to this point. And then since we want all the articles, we're going to grab everything on the domain of Wall Street Journal and then grab the API key. You can also sort from the past 6 months and then add your API key right here and run your module, and you'll get all the different articles that have been published in the Wall Street Journal in the last 6 months. Now that we have grabbed data from a different website using an API key, the next thing we'll do is organize our data. And when we open our data right here, you can see we're getting a mixture of text and HTML. So we're going to remove all this HTML and only get that using a post.json. So here, I'm going to search for JSON and click on post.json. The string that we're going to use this one called data and click on OK. Now, when we run automation, to run our module, just click on run anyway. It's getting our article using this URL. And then on our JSON, when you open our JSON, you will see now it has categorized all our articles into collections. So here we have 1 to 100 collections. So when you open a collection, you will see the author of the article, the title that mentions Elon Musk, the description, the URL, article, the URL to image, the date it was published, and the content right here. Let's say we want to send our prospects all of these articles that are mentioning Elon Musk. You could be you're sourcing information about the prospects companies, and you want to tell him, hey, here are all the websites that are talking about your company. You can choose to define your URL over here. So if your prospect was Elon Musk, you can choose to send him an email and tell him, hey, here are all the articles that have written about you from yesterday to today. And you can be able to generate all the different articles that talk about your client, like these ones right here. Now, choose to add all these articles to a Google Docs file. So here, we're going to search for Google Docs and click on Create a Document. For our content, we're going to click on Articles, and we're going to add a source, author, title, description, URL, URL to image, publish date, and our content. So when you click on OK and run our automation again, it will create a Google Docs file for us with one of our articles. So when you click over here and open our WebView link and copy it and paste it right here, you will see all this information right here. If you'd like to send the URL link to the article to your prospects, you'll come over here and search for the email module. In the email module, we're going to send an email. So click on send an email, create a connection, and then on the to, you can add the email of the client. So here we're going to click on lead email, and we can write a subject line. For example, here's what others are saying about, then you can add company, lead company right here. Then we can write our email over here. And our content of our email could be in the lines of, hi, first name, I'd like to update you on what others are saying about your company. Let me know if you'd like to discuss more about this. Thanks, Dennis. Also here you can add, here's the link to the doc. After customizing the content of our email, we can run our automation. You'll see that automation runs successfully. Getting the content of one of the articles right here with the link to the full article on the WebView link. And then over here, we are sending the doc to our client. Now, when we open our email, you will see our email right here. So it says, hi, Kim Rogers. I'd like to update you on what others are saying about your company. Here's a link to the article. Let me know if you'd like to discuss this. Thanks, Dennis. So here we have the introduction to the article. We also have the link to the full article. We're also getting the date and time it was published. And we have a brief description of the article. This is a simple automation that shows you how you can make an API call using Made.com. You're making an API call, getting information from an external website using the API key. We're using news API to get our API key and sourcing articles using the API key on this automation. And then here we're converting all the data into text format and then putting the articles on a Google Docs file and then sending our prospect right here. So that's how you can make an API call on Monday.com. If you have any ideas, questions, or automation that you'd like for me to create, comment them down below in the comment section. I read all the comments. But for now, thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.